Hey guys, welcome back. We're getting started right here after lunch, so we want to do something a little special here and just keep the energies flowing, keep us moving on this this path that we're on. So I'm really excited to bring on Cassandra, who's going to walk us through some EFT tapping stuff today, which is cool. We're going to actually go along with her and do the thing. So she's owned a yoga school, a magic school, which is fun, and so it's just a really amazing person and a great friend. And she is incredibly powerful woman, and is just really can help heal people through the work she does. And so excited to have her to just take us through something and kind of get the energies moving after lunch. And so I'll let you take it from here.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, friends. I'm Cassandra, and I am here to share with you EFT tapping, which is such an amazing technique. I feel so blessed that I get to share it with you today. And you don't need to know actually much about EFT in order to do it, which I think is really awesome. It's a 30-year-old practice. It's a combination of American psychology and Chinese medicine. So it's really that East meets West feel, which I love. And what's cool about it is there's plenty of science behind it. And if that's something that interests you, you can definitely go look up articles about it. But it works like magic. And that's what's so amazing about it to me, is that it just makes you feel better. So I discovered it about 8 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. It really just tunes the nervous system in a way that I haven't found many other practices can do, especially when you learn how to do it by yourself. You don't always need a practitioner. But I'm super happy here to share with you. So before we dive into the tapping, I do want to talk a little bit about why we're here, and that's hope. And more than just hope as a concept that we think about in our minds, I want to think about it, how does hope feel inside of our bodies? I do think that hope is a feeling. It's an emotion. And so I just want to ask you right now to close your eyes and take a moment to remember a time in your life when you truly felt hopeful. And see if you can drop into your body and just, what does hope feel like to you? What does your body feel like when you are feeling hopeful about the future? And to me, when we feel hope inside of our bodies, there's really no question about the future being great. It's certainty. It's that sense of inner knowing that everything's going to be okay. So having hope, is really believing that we as individuals and as human beings can prevail through dark times. And for many of us, these are the darkest times we've seen, especially those of us who are maybe on the younger side, millennials, Gen Z. And so right now, there is a lot of darkness in the world. And that darkness can block our view of the bright and hopeful future that most certainly does exist. I believe it does. But that darkness is something that's inside of all of us. And of course, we see it outside of us in the world events. And to me, the only way to truly feel hope inside of our bodies, in our hearts, in our inner knowing, is to feel all of the yucky emotions that are in the way of us really accessing that inner knowing that we all have. Those yucky emotions are despair, our grief, our sadness, and shame. And to me, these emotions are taking up literal space inside of our bodies. They affect our electromagnetic field. In other words, our aura, right? That our heart and our brain emit electric energy. And just the same way that a whole lot of dust inside your laptop affects its function, a whole lot of emotional residue, which is actual chemicals, hormones, clogging up the systems in our body, cause problems. It takes up space. And when all the space is full of despair, we don't have very much room to experience hope and bliss and joy. So I'm here to support you in accessing that hope, that bliss, and that joy, right? So let's just take a couple deep breaths together right now. Just wiggle around in your seat. Just feel whatever part of you is touching the floor or your chair. Feel the air around you on your skin. Just close your eyes for a moment and we'll do 3 big deep breaths together just to get centered, just to fully arrive in the space that we're in. When you're ready, inhale deeply and then let it out. And again, inhale and release. And we'll do 1 more like that, breathing in and letting it go. And just notice now, even after those few breaths, maybe you feel a little more present. Maybe you feel like you've arrived in your body. Okay, so we'll do a little more work with that as we flow. So now I just want you to ask yourself, what is in the way of you being completely and totally willing to take action on your personal values? Okay, that to me is hope. That brings us into that space of hope. Like, I am willing to take action. I am willing to make the future better because I matter, right? So that's the question. What upsetting emotions are in the way of you feeling hopeful? And that's what we're going to work with right now. So let's start to dive into the tap. And I want you, if you're willing, to play along with me, to bring to mind the most uncomfortable emotion that you're dealing with in your life right now. Okay, so some of those emotions might be, as I mentioned earlier, anxiety, fear, anger, irritation, sadness, numbness is an emotion, guilt, okay, anything like that. And you might have something different. Okay, go ahead and use that for yourself. So this is sort of like a call and response journey. And I'll say things in a rhythmic way. And if you're willing, you'll repeat them out loud to yourself. And you'll also be filling in the blanks. So sometimes I'll ask you to feel things. Sometimes I'll ask you to visualize things. And sometimes I'll ask you questions that you can answer. Okay, so it's possible that you might cry a little bit. It's possible that you might yawn or feel sleepy. All of those are normal things. And what's cool about having any of that biofeedback is that we know that it's working. We know that energy is moving. Okay, so I'm going to show you some tapping points really quick, and you're going to follow along with me. I'm going to tap on myself. You're going to tap on yourself. You don't actually have to have your eyes open. You can close them if that feels better to you, and I'll guide you when to move on. So the first spot is the chest. Using the fingertips, tap on the chest. Yeah, you can just breathe and we'll start moving the energy right now because we're just going to dive right in from here. Big deep breath. Let it go. Awesome. And then the second point is right here on the front of the ribs. Might be a little tender. Yep, right there. And then sides of the ribs. Okay. And the wrist. I'm just going through them really quickly. We're going to cycle through all of these again and again though. And the finger. So on the finger, right where your nail and your fingertip kind of meet, that corner area. And the same thing on all the fingers except the ring fingers. So you'll just move to the middle. The ring finger is the other side. That's the only one that's different. And then to the pinky and the side of the hand. Okay, and then top of the head. You don't have to remember these. I'll tell you where to go next. Tapping on the forehead and tapping on the temples. And under the eyes, yeah, cheekbones, and then under the nose, under the lips, on the chin, and then back on the chest. We cycle through just like that. And if you're tapping somewhere, it will work. So if you decide you need to tap on your jaw or some other part of your body, just listen to your intuition, go for it, okay, while we're doing this. So here we go. Close your eyes. We're going to do 3 more breaths. When you're ready, big inhale. Release again. You can sigh it out. One more time. And go ahead and start tapping on your chest. Now choose your emotion, your sadness, your grief, your despair, whatever that is for you right now. It might be more than one. Drop down into your body. Feel that emotion inside your body. Okay. And then go ahead and repeat after me. This feeling of, what's the feeling you're feeling? This feeling of, and they're saying it out loud, this feeling of, and you're moving down to the rib point. One more time. This feeling of, repeating that. This feeling makes me think, and now just say some things that your feelings are making you think about. Negative things, negative thoughts that you repeat to yourself. Some of us repeat things to ourselves like, I just can't do this, or this is too hard. The world is scary. Things are bad. You know, any negative phrases that you find yourself repeating and validating inside your body, bring those to mind. We're tapping on the sides of the ribs and feel what it's like to say those things to yourself. Our body's always listening. We're always listening to our thoughts. We're always listening to the things that we say. Let yourself feel what that's like. Good. Let's take a big breath. Move that energy out. I'll tap on the wrist. All these negative things that I'm saying, go ahead and repeat that. All these negative things that I'm saying to myself are making me feel bad. These negative things are making me feel worse. Good. And tapping on the thumb. I thought that by saying these negative things to myself, you can repeat that I would feel better. Tapping on the next finger. And that's just not happening. Let's breathe. Good. And just noticing how sometimes we say things to ourselves to protect ourselves from disappointment or uncertainty, but they really don't help. Okay, so let's try this. Repeating after me. Move to your next finger. Even though I feel, and just say that negative emotion again. It might be a new one now. Even though I feel, I love and accept myself. Try that. Even though I feel, say your emotion, I know I'm still a good person. And moving to the next finger, other side. Even though I feel, say your emotion, I respect myself. And let yourself feel that self-respect. Being here right now, being willing to feel some of this stuff is a way to show your self-respect. Okay, tapping on the next finger. Let's just check in. We said we love and accept ourselves. Now, I just want to know, do you? Do you love and accept yourself? Tapping on the side of the hand. See if you can be really honest. You know, you might have just said it because I told you to, which thank you for playing along. But you might also feel like you love and accept yourself, right? So let's tap on the head. I'm sure there's a part of you that does. I'm sure there's a part of you that loves and accepts yourself. So let's just acknowledge that. Go ahead and say that. There's a part of me that loves and accepts myself, right? And then tapping on the forehead. But there's a part of me that doesn't. So let's just acknowledge that little part, however small, that doesn't all the way love and accept ourselves, okay? Big deep breath right here. Good. I'm tapping on the temples. Even though I don't love and accept myself all the way yet, I know I'm still a good person. Okay. Validating ourselves here in this space. So tapping under the eyes, what is in the way of you accepting yourself fully? What is in the way? Maybe it's an emotion, maybe it's a memory, maybe it's a story. Okay, tapping under the nose. Now just check in to see what emotion is there wrapped up with the story. What emotion is there wrapped up with the memory, if you can. And then just repeat it. I feel, however you feel right now. I feel, say it aloud. I'm tapping on the chin. I feel, however you feel. Okay, so if I love and accept myself all the way right now, I'm afraid that what might happen, tapping on the chest. So what might happen? What might go wrong if we just love ourselves as we are, with all of our flaws, with all the things that we perceive that are wrong, what might happen? Big breath, everybody. Good. And tapping on the ribs, front of the ribs. You don't have to do more or be more to receive your love. I'm here to remind you of this. You do not have to do more or be more to receive your love. Okay? So just notice how you feel right now. Observe your energy. Maybe you feel a little lighter. Maybe you feel a little better, tapping on the sides of the ribs. So give yourself some gratitude for doing some work. You did amazing. You've done some work. You felt some stuff, felt some feelings, felt some emotions, and moved some energy here. Big breath, everybody. Good. So let's just check in. Maybe there's still some yucky stuff in there. Maybe there's still some bad feelings in there. We'll move to our wrists. So now just drop in again into your body. Wiggle around in your seat and just feel your body, feel your energy. Tune into that emotion that you said earlier. Now, it might have morphed into something else. And if it's something else now, just acknowledge that, okay? Tapping on the thumb. What does that emotion feel like in your body? Just like we connected to hope earlier, we're going to connect to the yuckiness that's in front of that hope that's inside of us. So what is that emotion? Okay, tapping on the next finger, we're saying it out loud. I feel, what do you feel? I feel, one more time, I feel. Okay, now dropping into the body, what parts of your body are having sensations right now while you feel this emotion? So many times people in anger are feeling in the jaw or in the belly. Anxiety is in the chest. Other places that you might feel it somewhere else. Those are just some ideas of what you can tap into. What does it feel like for you? We moved fingers. We're on the ring finger, other side. Okay. What are the sensations that you're feeling in your body? See if you can visualize it. You can close your eyes if you're not. Tapping on the pinky now. Let yourself feel it. And we're doing another breath while we feel our bodies here. Good. Even though I feel, just repeating after me, that emotion or that sensation, even though I feel, I love and accept myself. Okay, starting to see the pattern here. Even though I feel, I love and accept myself. Amazing. Tapping on the head, big breath. We'll do one more pass. Even though I feel, how do you feel? Even though I feel, I love and accept myself. Okay, tapping on the forehead, repeating after me. It's perfectly understandable that I would feel this way. Let's give ourselves some understanding. Okay, repeating, anyone who's been through what I've been through would feel how I feel. Okay, just we're all human. We have feelings. Tapping on the temples. It's really understandable. Let's give ourselves some of that compassion, some of that love and care. Repeating after me, even though I feel, say it again, even though I feel, I know I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. Good, tapping under the eyes. Now think about how you want to feel. Maybe it's hopeful. Maybe it's happy, and tapping under the nose. Maybe you want to access energy and confidence. Okay, so whatever it is for you, just tune into that. How do you want to feel? We want to feel inspired, right? So we'll just repeat after me. When you're ready, I really want to feel what? What do you really want to feel? Tapping on the chest. I really want to feel bliss. I really want to feel joy. I really want to feel hopeful. Okay, whatever it is for you, just repeating that. I really love the idea of trusting myself. I really love the idea of trusting myself. So let's just take a moment to check in again, tapping on the ribs. We've done some work. We've moved some energy. Notice where you're at. And let's see if we can do a little comparison to where you are right now with this emotion compared to how you were about 20 minutes ago. Okay, so just notice. It might feel a little lighter. Sometimes it feels a little worse, it feels a little heavier, and sometimes we need more time, okay? So you might feel a little worse. Either way, when you're ready, tapping on the sides of the ribs, even though I still feel a little yucky, I love and accept myself. Okay, even though I still feel a little bit bad, I love and accept myself. Good, I'm tapping on the wrist. Big deep breath. Now let's play a little game. Let's just imagine that we're gonna hold on to this yucky emotion for another 5 years. Okay, so we're gonna live our life in this emotion, tapping on the next finger for 5 more years, and just see what that would feel like to your body to go through your life 5 more years with this, okay? Probably doesn't feel so nice, but we get to stay safe. We get to stay the same. We get to be in our comfort, and maybe that's a trade-off, right? Next finger. Add 15 years to that, okay? So it's been 15 years that we've been in this despair. We've been in this grief. We've been holding on. We've been living our life in this paradigm for another 15 years, okay? Next finger. Just how does that feel to you? Just stay with it if you can. Big breath, everybody. Okay, add 20 years to that. So we're getting old. We're getting up there. We're still in our despair. We're still in our grief. We're holding on. We're dwelling in this, okay? Our life illustrates that we've been in this energy for a long time. Tapping on the next finger. But we get to hold on. We get to stay the same. And for some of us, that feels really good. That feels safe. I'm tapping on the side of the hand. All right, we're really old. We're so old. We're 105. We're on our deathbed now. We're looking around us. Maybe not too many people with us. We've been holding on to this story that's been keeping us small and sad and low for many years. Go ahead and tap on your head. And just look back on your life. What would it feel like to have gone through your whole life like this? Maybe we feel regret, okay? Maybe we know that we wasted our potential. Let yourself see it. Let yourself feel it. You're doing great. Big breath. Good, tapping on the forehead. So now that we've seen it, now that we've watched our whole lives while holding on to this sadness, this despair, my guess is that we are feeling like maybe it's time to let it go. Okay, tapping on the temples. My guess is that we're seeing that we don't need to live like this. We can totally let this go, right? So let's just say that. Tapping under the eyes. I can totally let this go. Good, tapping under the nose. I'm willing to move through these emotions. Okay. Tapping on the chin. I'm willing to open my heart. I'm willing to practice being hopeful. Tapping on the chest. We can let hope be a practice. I can totally do this. Just repeating that, feeling that, letting your energy start to bubble up, tapping on the ribs. I can feel hopeful. I can feel hopeful. I am capable of this, right? Tapping on the sides of the ribs. I'm willing to have hope for the future. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to be a beacon of hope for future, right? I am willing to be hopeful for our world. Okay, tapping on the wrist. I can totally make a difference. Affirm that for yourself. I can totally make a difference. Tapping on the thumb. Because I matter, right? You matter. I matter. We matter. Tapping on the next finger. I love myself and I accept myself. Okay. I'm tapping on the next finger. So maybe I won't get it all right today. Just repeating that. Maybe I won't get it all right today. Next finger. But that's okay. but that's okay, because I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep going. I can totally do this. Okay, tapping on the side of the hand. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future. I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to do something that's going to make a difference in my world. Okay. All right, now that we're feeling a little more ready, a little more hopeful, let's start to shake it out. So we're just going to shake the body, shake the arms, shake the face, shake the legs, get a little shimmy going here. Yes, feel it, feel it. Just wiggle it out. Okay. And now reach your arms out and up. Inhale. Stretch it up. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Feel your heart. We're going to do it again. Inhale, reach it up. Hands come into the heart. Feel the heart. One more. Inhale. Bring it down. Good. And now just keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Rest your hands right on your heart so you can feel it beating. Notice your breath right now. Notice your energy. Breathe slowly and gently. In your mind, just tell yourself you love yourself. Give yourself gratitude for taking this time to be with yourself in this intimate way. And just know that anytime you're feeling that despair or that grief, you can tap in and tune in to yourself, to your body, and to your heart. Move through the despair, move through the grief. And hope is on the other side. And you can know that within yourself. You can hold that in your heart. And I hold that for all of you. So when you're ready, you can just blink open the eyes, release the hands. And I do recommend that you drink some water after this. I do recommend that if you feel tired, you rest if you can. The guidance is that you do not take alcohol today. If that's something that you are able to do, I recommend just letting yourself be with your natural energy for the rest of the day. And I just want to thank you all so very much for letting me hold space for you, for letting me guide you, for letting me be here. And I'm super thankful to Tim and Dave and the Global Hope Summit for having me.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, thank you so much for leading us all through that. And definitely such a good skill to learn. And you know, all these recordings are going to be coming out, so you guys might want to steal this one and and do it a few times. So I love it. So really appreciate all your work and what you're doing here. I know you're doing some pretty epic things in the world, making some pretty big changes right now, along with everybody else. So, which it's just been exciting to watch you do that. So where can people find out more about what you're up to, and where can they connect with you if they'd like?
Well, they can find me on Instagram. Cassandra Vitale is my handle. So that's my name. You can find me on Facebook, same thing. Just search my name. I've got my website up, CassandraVitale.com. So you can find me on the internet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, really appreciate you coming on here today, and we'll keep things moving here. But thank you so much for this activity, and it was awesome to just kind of break up the energy of the day. So
thanks so much for having me, Tim. Bye.
Bye.